Hi, welcome back to Picky on MultiValue. Today we're going to talk about the VOC, the vocabulary, the most important file in any MultiValue account. If I go list VOC, you'll notice basically every command, every keyword that the system uses, every file that I use is in this file. So it basically defines everything the system can do. For instance, the command list is defined in the VOC. If I go list item VOC list, you can see that that's defined as a verb. It's a V type on field 1. And there's some internal specifications for that verb based on the specific MultiValue system that you're using. Today I'm using OpenQM. So for instance, if I wanted, instead of going list orders, where I get a list of my orders, if I wanted to, instead of using the word list, if I wanted to use the word, let's do table output, for instance, I can define a new verb that will have the exact same functionality as list. How do I do that? Let me load up in the line editor the existing definition for the verb list. So I'm going to go add VOC list. If I press print, you can see the same definition that I showed previously. So I'm going to save that now as, let's do table output. And quit. So now in my VOC, if I go list item VOC table output, you'll see the new entry I added into my VOC. So now I can use that command. I can go table output orders, and it will use the exact same functionality that list has. So that's an example of adding a new verb, for instance. Most often, though, what you're going to be using are other major VOC types such as file, sentence, paragraph, phrase that actually define the definition of the application that you're developing. So for instance, let's add a VOC entry for file. Let's go add VOC. I think I have some employees file I left around from another video. So let me go insert mode. And as I said before, all the VOC entries, field number 1 defines the type of the entry. So for instance, a file is an F type. So I'm going to start F, and I can actually add a description after this. Only the first letter needs to be F. So I can actually add a description for kind of document exactly what this file is for. So this is a file for all employee records or something like that. Only the first letter needs to be that F. I believe the file is employees, and I believe my dictionary is employee dict, like that. Field 2 is the data file. Field 3 is the dictionary file. So I'm going to go and file that. So now if I go list employees, I should have the employees that I added in a prior video. So if I go list dict employees, I should see the dictionary that I referenced as well. So that's a file. How about we do a phrase? So instead of doing list employees, first name, last name, for instance, instead of having to type first name, last name all the time, how about we add a new VOC entry, full name, which is just going to map to first name, last name. Let me show you an example of that. So I'm going to go add VOC, full name. Insert mode, let's type that as a phrase for a full name. Like I said before, only the first letters need to be the actual type, and a phrase is an PH type. So the phrase I'm going to do first name, last name, file. So now I can do, instead of typing list employees first name, last name, I can do list employees full name. That's just going to replace full name with the phrase that I entered, first name, last name, like that. Now how about, instead of having me to type that all the time, I want to make a new command that's just going to do list employees full name. There's actually a quick way to do that with the stack commands, but let's do it manually with the line editor. Add VOC, how about we name it list employees. Insert mode, and the type for a single command is a sentence. So let's type sentence for listing employees, for instance. And let's just do list employees full name. And I'm going to do file to save that entry in the VOC. So now I can just do list employees. And that's going to take the sentence that I defined in the VOC and execute it. So you can see the VOC is an extremely powerful aspect of any multi-value system. It basically allows you to be able to customize anything in the system and expand upon all the keywords, all the verbs, all the sentences, phrases, files, paragraphs that we're going to see in later videos. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.